All right, it's 8 a.m. and I've been reading resumes for the last 45 minutes. We have had 384 people apply for this Director of Business Operations position. So TBD on how I'm handling this. I'll make something. I'll make either another video or segment and just the process of just tackling this whole beast and monster, because honestly, that is just a purely overwhelming amount of applications. And we're still in the middle of our migration to HubSpot. Fun stuff. Here's what doesn't help is that I've been on sleep duty with our 3-year-old who still is waking up every night and coming into the room. And so I'm on 3-4 nights in a row. Yesterday I woke up feeling angry. If you know what it's like to not get a lot of sleep or to have your sleep disrupted, not fun. Shout out to all the moms out there. So I feel tired right now, a little bit cranky. Adds a whole nother flavor and element to all this. All right, good morning. It is 8:11 Saturday morning, and waking up, I'm hammering through resumes. Let's see. How many have I gotten through for this role? We'll have to take a look. I know it's been a lot, and now Buddy wants to go outside. Let's see. Going to the list. I've rejected 73, shortlisted 21. So it looks like I've gone through about 100 so far, with 293 showing as new that I have to go through. Let's see. Let's block this off. Hopefully you can see those numbers. So we're rocking and rolling. The family left for California yesterday. So this is my opportunity to get caught up on work stuff and use the time productively. Initially, I was going to be playing golf and teeing off at 7 o'clock this morning, but it's raining outside. So switch the tee time to Sunday. Perfect way to start out the weekend. Super productive, getting caught up on work. And that's part of my intention throughout while these guys are gone, is to work all the times where I might want to work. Early mornings, during the day, the weekends, evenings, and fit in some fun stuff as well and reward myself, but prioritize getting done. All right, it's Sunday, June 1st, 3:30. I have whittled it down to, I think, 50 resumes on the short list. 52 from 400, just over 400. So now I got to get those 52 down to about 15. I've already interviewed 4 people for first interviews. I think I have another 5 or 6 lined up on the calendar for next week. So I'm going to whittle it down to my top 15 or so and go from there. I may even cancel some first interviews that I have scheduled, depending upon how strong candidates are. I'm going to get more locked in, lasered in on people that have kind of specific experience. Man, there's some talented people out there, I'll tell you. If you're a business owner and entrepreneur, now's a great time to hire some incredible talent. A lot of people looking for roles, especially if it's remote. I actually posted a position again to say a hybrid position in Orlando. Not even close to the amount of resumes, not even close. And the caliber of people. My goodness, remote is definitely a strategic advantage. So anyways, 3:30 on a Sunday. We're rock and rolling. I do not want to be working right now, but that's the life. That's why you get all the perks of being an entrepreneur, right? Of being able to control your schedule and all that good stuff. Sometimes you do you don't want to do. All right, so this is the process I'm using right now. This was the best I can do to figure out all these different resumes. I blacked out the names here so you can't see it, but I have the categories that I think are the most important. So CRM and tech stack familiarity, HubSpot, they've hired and fired people. EOS, we use EOS, experience with ops and SOPs. They've either worked remote or managed remote people. They've worked in a small business before, because working in a small business is different than working with a company with thousands of employees. And just their overall acumen. So this is the grid I'm using to narrow it down, to narrow the list down from, I think I had 52 people on my short list, and I really need to narrow it down to about 15. And then after I interview those first 15, I'll probably narrow it down to, I don't know, the top 5 from there, 5 or 6, and then go from there. And I think most ideally I'll have, at the end of all of this, between 1 to 3 candidates that'll probably fly out here so I can meet with them in person, go out to dinner or lunch with them, and just be able to experience their presence, and just, how they operate. So that's the process. I don't know. Hopefully that's helpful. I'm no pro in hiring. I just, learn and read about how to hire and just figure stuff out. And I found that scoring rubrics and systems are really, really helpful when there's so much variety, right? Or there's so much subjectivity. Like, how do you make it more objective? Because some of the resumes, I'm like, man, these are good. But it's like, is it good for what we need? That's like saying, man, I'll tell you what, this Lamborghini, this thing it's great. It's nice. It's fast. It's like, dude, but you got 3 kids. You can't fit 3 kids in your Lamborghini, right? So yes, the Lamborghini is a fantastic car. Goes fast. It's epic. But you have to find the right people, the right software systems for your needs now. Scoring like that helps it a lot. All right, I don't know if anyone else believes in this stuff. Might think maybe you think it's weird. You know what? I don't care. I'm a weird guy, but I believe in this stuff. Let me show you what has happened. I just got out of a meeting, a really good meeting with our team, where we talked about some new stuff we're gonna do. And I walked past the studio. I'm like, why is the light on in here? And it just so happens that the Franchise Empire light, it's hard to see because of this view. Okay, maybe not. You can see it, Franchise Empire. And you're like, big deal, Tarek, your Franchise Empire neon light is on. I did not turn that light on. Somehow that light got turned on. By the way, the remote is right here. It randomly turned on. This is it turning off. I did not turn the light on. The light turned on by itself, okay? The last time this light turned on by itself, it was when I was hiring for a really, really, really important role, like crucial, when we were bringing our brokerage side of the business in-house. And I felt uncertain just about the role and the hire, and like just questioning. Maybe you've been there, like, am I really bringing on the right person? Is this the right person? You just question the decision you've made. You're just not sure. You feel doubt. That's what I felt. And it was our first meeting together, I think, of him starting. And he hops in the meeting. And this used to be in my office. So this is we're in the studio right now. It used to be right here in my office, okay? It used to be hanging up right here. And my desk is right there. So I'm sitting here at my desk, right? With the computer there. And all of a sudden on that wall, boom, the light turns on as soon as he hopped in the Zoom meeting. And I was so thrown off. I was like, what just happened? I even said it to him, like, that's so weird. The light just turned on. Oh my goodness, if I still have the recording of that meeting, we'll insert the clip here of that happening and my real-time reaction. I was like, that's so weird. Well, here's one of the things that I believe, ladies and gentlemen. My faith is strong. I'm a strong believer in God, in that God guides me and is looking over me and my family. And ever since I was young, I wasn't religious, but I just always believed, and I felt God's hand just taking care of me in certain situations. There were times in life where I was going through difficulty, a really stressful situation, where I asked God for his guidance, or just give me a sign. And so I have various things where when I see it, to me it's a sign, and I feel it intuitively. And so that happened with this individual, our first meeting after I hired him. And intuitively, what I heard God say to me was like, this is the guy. This is the person. To me, I took that as the sign randomly turning on out of nowhere. Like the sign has been up in my office for months and months and months. Never has that happened. And randomly, when we start the meeting of this key hire that I feel all twisted up mentally about, and it just boom pops on, to me, that was a clear sign of like, this is the person, and this is God's way of speaking to me and telling me that this is going to work out. And over the years, guys, again, this may sound crazy. Think of it what you want. I don't care. But over the years, going back all the way to like 18 years old, seeing some of these signs, and in that moment intuitively knowing that it was a sign, has brought me peace. because I knew in that moment that God was speaking to me through these signs. And so we just got out of a marketing meeting and talked about this new style of content that we're going to make in terms of letting people into the behind the scenes journey and starting to share about building franchise empire and all this stuff that I feel very nervous about sharing, because it's letting people in really deep into, the behind the scenes of the business, numbers, all that stuff. And then I walk by the office and the freaking sign, walk by the studio and the freaking sign is on, and I did not turn the sign on. And so I take the sign as a sign. So anyways, I wanted to share that with you guys. Again, I have no idea where we will use this piece of content, if we'll use it at all. But I'm a very logical person, very logical, like data, like numbers. But I also have a very strong intuition, a very strong gut, and a very strong faith in God. And I believe in signs. I believe in signs 100%. So I have dragonflies everywhere. Love dragonflies. Those are my thing. So it's okay to be weird, ladies and gentlemen. It's okay to be authentically you. You'll hear a lot of business people actually talk about when they've made key decisions. It was a gut. Talk about it was a gut decision. I just knew it in my gut, or had this idea. This is the intangible side of business that no one could put in a formula. You can have the formula, but nothing is linear in business and in life. There's nothing that there's an exact formula or science. It just doesn't work like that. So anyways, that's what I wanted to share with you. Let me know if you've had experiences like that before, or if you have something that like, hey, when this happens, this is my sign. This is God speaking to me and guiding me. Peace.